The sun dipped low over the sprawling arena, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. A hush fell over the crowd as the massive gates of the Colosseum creaked open. From the shadows, towering shapes began to emerge. Beasts unlike any living creature the world had ever seen. Their scales shimmered like molten metal, and their eyes glowed with a dangerous intelligence. These were the apex beasts, creatures bred for war, speed, and strength. Every muscle in their colossal bodies radiated power. The audience gasped, and the warriors who had trained them took a step back, awed by the raw force they had unleashed. Among the spectators was Lyra, a young human with a reputation that preceded her. She wasn't just any observer. She had the uncanny ability to summon and command her own beast, one that no one had ever seen before. Rumors said she had tamed a creature even the apex beasts feared. From the opposite gate, the champions of the arena called forth their beasts. Each was fierce and terrifying. Horned leviathans, fire-spewing drakes, and armored terrors with claws that could slice through stone. The earth trembled beneath their weight. A roar shook the arena as one massive, silver-scaled dragon with eyes like molten gold strode forward. The crowd erupted in cheers and gasps of awe. Lyra stepped forward, calm and composed. She didn't shout or signal. Instead, she smiled faintly, almost teasingly, and tilted her head. The wind carried her soft whistle, a sound so delicate, it seemed like a melody in the chaos. A sudden ripple of energy swept through the arena. From the hidden depths of the Colosseum, a shadow moved. A figure emerged, sleek and magnificent, gliding gracefully over the stone floor. It was her beast. No one had ever seen it before. It was lithe, almost ethereal, its silver fur reflecting the sunset in streaks of light. Its eyes, a brilliant sapphire, met Lyra's, and in that instant, the bond between them became visible, an unspoken promise of trust and loyalty. The apex beasts of the arena turned their heads, sensing something different, something unearthly in its presence. Even the silver-scaled dragon froze for a heartbeat, as if recognizing an equal. Lyra's lips curved into a sly smile. She whispered, barely audible, "Show them who's mine." Her beast responded instantly, muscles coiling and uncoiling like liquid steel. It leaped forward, faster than any human eye could follow. Sparks of energy danced around its claws as it landed gracefully before the apex dragon, bowing its head in respect, yet radiating an aura that was unshakable and fearless. The crowd fell silent, not out of fear, but out of awe. The first battle was about to begin, but Lyra didn't seem worried. While the other warriors shouted commands and waved whips, she simply laughed, a soft, melodic laugh that cut through the tension like sunlight through clouds. It was a sound that carried power, beauty, and a hint of mischief. The arena seemed to bend around her, the air itself humming with anticipation. The apex beasts charged, their roars echoing like thunder. Earth cracked beneath their colossal weight. Yet Lyra's beast moved with elegance and speed, evading strikes that would have shattered mountains. Every move was calculated, almost playful, teasing the massive dragon with flips, whirls, and sudden bursts of energy. The audience was entranced. They weren't just watching a fight. They were witnessing a dance, a romance between human and beast, a bond that no one else could comprehend. In a moment of daring, Lyra raised her hand. Her beast halted midair, balancing on its hind legs. The apex dragon lunged, jaws wide, but Lyra's whistle pierced the roar of the arena. In perfect synchrony, her beast twisted in the air, striking the dragon with a precision that made the crowd gasp. Sparks flew, scales clashed, and the sound of impact rang like bells. Yet there was no hatred in the attack, only skill, grace, and an undeniable connection. As the dust settled, Lyra's beast landed elegantly before her, bowing slightly. The apex dragon lowered its head in acknowledgement. The audience erupted in thunderous applause. Lyra laughed again, this time louder, and with a subtle, teasing gesture, she whistled for her companion. The beast sprinted to her side, nuzzling her hand. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Who is she?" someone murmured. "And what is that creature?" Lyra's eyes sparkled. "Someone who never fears, and something no one can tame," she said softly, almost to herself. But everyone around her felt the weight of the words, the truth in them. She had arrived not to fight for victory or glory, but to show that power was nothing without trust, and strength meant nothing without love. From the shadows, another figure watched closely. He was one of the arena's masters, a man who had commanded beasts far deadlier than those unleashed today. Even he felt a shiver run down his spine. He had seen many beasts, many warriors, but never had he witnessed such harmony, such elegance. He realized, perhaps too late, that Lyra's arrival would change everything. As the sun sank below the horizon, casting long shadows over the arena, Lyra and her beast stood together at the center. Around them, chaos and power reigned, but she remained untouched, serene, and radiant. The apex beasts had been unleashed, but the human who laughed and whistled for hers had claimed the true throne of the arena, not by force, but by the sheer magnetism of bond, courage, and heart. And as night fell, with stars beginning to glimmer above, Lyra knew this was just the beginning. The apex beasts had been challenged, but something much deeper, much more romantic, was rising. The connection between human and beast, fierce yet tender, unstoppable yet beautiful. The night air was cool, but the arena still pulsed with heat from the battles earlier. Sparks of flame from exhausted apex beasts flickered along the stone walls, casting long, dancing shadows. The crowd had gone home, leaving the grand amphitheater eerily quiet, but Lyra didn't mind. The black-scaled beast lunged. Its speed was breathtaking, a blur of darkness with claws that could shred stone. Lyra's beast moved with fluid elegance, dodging, weaving, and spinning through the attacks. Sparks flew, fire igniting from the impact of their clashes. Yet even in the midst of battle, there was a rhythm almost romantic, a ballet of predator and partner, danger and desire intertwined. Lyra's hand trembled slightly, but not from fear. She called softly, now. Her whistle carried the command like a secret melody. Her beast obeyed instantly, leaping high, twisting in midair, and landing perfectly atop a stone pillar. The black beast followed, faster than instinct, but misjudged the landing. A roar of frustration echoed through the arena, followed by silence. Lyra's heart raced, but it was a thrill of connection, not combat. For a moment, time slowed. Lyra and her beast locked eyes. She felt warmth spread through her chest. A fire that wasn't from battle but from something far more profound. Love, trust, and unspoken understanding. She whispered, barely audible, "We are unstoppable together." Her beast nuzzled her hand, its sapphire eyes softening. In that instant, they weren't master and companion. They were partners, equals, bound by more than just training or instinct. The black-scaled beast hesitated, sensing the depth of their bond. Its growl lowered, curiosity replacing aggression. Lyra's lips curved into a teasing smile. Slowly, deliberately, she stepped forward, her beast following in perfect synchrony. "Come closer," she whispered. The black beast tilted its head, observing, calculating. And then something extraordinary happened. Instead of attacking, the black beast lowered its massive head. It sniffed the air around Lyra and her companion. There was a pause. A heartbeat that stretched into eternity. Lyra extended her hand, and the beast nudged it gently. Sparks of energy flared briefly where her fingers touched the dark scales. The arena, though empty, seemed to vibrate with approval. Lyra laughed softly, a sound both melodic and powerful. "See," she whispered. "Even the untamable can feel." She trailed off, not needing to finish the sentence. Her eyes met the beast's, then glanced toward her own companion. A strange, warm glow filled the arena, as if their connection radiated beyond them, touching even the night itself. From that night onward, the arena transformed. No longer was it a place solely of combat. It became a stage for partnership, for trust, and for the quiet, intimate bond between human and beast. Other warriors tried to challenge her, sending their apex beasts forward, but none could break the harmony she shared with hers. Every encounter ended the same. Not with destruction, but with acknowledgement, respect, and sometimes admiration. Lyra's reputation spread beyond the arena walls. People whispered of a human who didn't just tame beasts. She understood them, spoke to them, loved them. And as stories of her courage and connection grew, so did the whispers of something else. Among the tales of power and legend, there were murmurs of romance, of a human whose heart was as fierce as her companion's, and a bond that could awaken even the wildest hearts. One evening, after the last of the challengers had left, Lyra sat atop the highest stone balcony of the arena. Her beast lay at her feet, tail curled protectively around her legs. Moonlight bathed them both, silver and sapphire blending into a glow that seemed almost magical. She sighed, leaning against the beast's warm side. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" she murmured. "Being understood, being trusted, being loved." Her companion purred softly in response, a deep, resonant sound that echoed in her chest like music. Lyra closed her eyes, imagining a world where she and her beast could roam freely, away from the judgments, the battles, the expectations. A place where connection meant more than strength, and love was stronger than fear. A rustle in the shadows made her eyes snap open. Standing there was a figure she hadn't expected. A young man, a warrior of no small renown, yet different somehow. He didn't carry the arrogance of the others, nor the hunger for glory. His eyes held curiosity, but also something warmer. Admiration, perhaps even affection. "I've been watching," he said quietly, voice almost reverent. "Not just the battles, but you. The way you move with them, the way they respond. It's beautiful." Lyra studied him, sensing honesty in every word. "You understand then?" she asked. "You see it?" He nodded slowly. "Yes. And I want to learn. Not to challenge you, not to fight, but to understand, to share something like that. If you'd let me." For the first time in a long while, Lyra felt a spark of something entirely new. Something that mirrored the bond she had with her beast. Trust, admiration, and the possibility of love. She smiled, soft and mysterious, and whistled. Her beast nudged her shoulder, as if urging her forward. "Then you must promise," she said, voice low, "that you will respect what you see, and never fear it. Can you do that?" He nodded, and something unspoken passed between them. A promise deeper than words. That night, under the stars and the watchful gaze of her companions, Lyra felt a new kind of connection forming, not just with her beast, but with another human heart. The arena had unleashed apex beasts, and humans had risen to meet them. But no one had expected that love, trust, and a quiet kind of courage could become the true apex force of all. And as the moon climbed high, casting silver light over stone and scale, Lyra realized that the dance of fire and heart was only beginning, and that the next step would bring trials, passion, and an adventure that no one could have predicted. Dawn broke slowly over the arena, soft light washing away the shadows of the night. Lyra stood at the center of the stone floor, feeling the quiet strength of her beast beside her. The world had changed since her arrival. No longer was the arena a place of fear alone. It had become a place of questions, of wonder, of possibility. But peace never lasted long where power existed. The ground shook without warning. A deep horn sounded from the high towers. It was not a challenge call. It was an alarm. Lyra's beast lifted its head instantly, sapphire eyes sharp. The young warrior who had spoken to Lyra the night before, his name was Kale, ran toward her, armor half-fastened, breath quick. "They're coming," he said. "The council." Lyra's smile faded. The council were rulers of the arena, masters who believed beasts were weapons, not partners. They had watched her victories in silence, and now they had decided. Massive iron gates crashed open. Chains dragged across stone. From the darkness emerged the prime apex, a creature so large it blocked the rising sun. Its body was covered in ancient scars, its eyes empty of emotion. Runes burned into its flesh, forcing obedience. This beast did not choose to fight. It was enslaved. The crowd filled the stands, silent and tense. This was not a show. This was a warning. "Submit," boomed the council's voice from above. "Kneel, human. Hand over your beast. Power like yours does not belong to the weak." Lyra felt Kale's hand tighten near hers, but she stepped forward alone. She looked at the prime apex and felt her heart ache. There was no rage in the creature. Only pain. "No," Lyra said softly, yet her voice carried across the arena. "Power does not belong to you. It never did." The council laughed. "Then be destroyed." The chains released. The prime apex charged. Stone shattered beneath its weight. Fire burst from its mouth. The crowd screamed. Kale reached for his weapon, but Lyra raised her hand. "Do not fight," she whispered. Her beast growled, confused, muscles tensing, ready to kill if commanded. But Lyra did not whistle to attack. She whistled gently. The sound was different this time. It carried no command, only emotion. Her beast stepped forward, placing itself between Lyra and the prime apex. It did not roar. It did not strike. It simply stood. The prime apex slowed. Its massive claws dug into stone as it fought against the runes burning into its flesh. The two beasts locked eyes. And then something impossible happened. Lyra walked forward. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Kale shouted, "Lyra, stop!" She didn't. She placed her hand over her heart and spoke clearly. "You are not a weapon. You were never meant to be." The prime apex roared in agony, chains rattling, runes glowing brighter. Lyra stood her ground. Tears streamed down her face, but she did not turn away. Her beast moved beside her, pressing its forehead to hers. Their bond flared bright and warm, filling the arena like sunlight after endless night. Lyra whistled again. The runes cracked. One by one they shattered. The prime apex collapsed, not in defeat, but in freedom. Silence fell. Then the beast lowered its head to Lyra. The crowd erupted, not in cheers, but in stunned disbelief. The council screamed in fury. "Kill them! Kill them all!" Soldiers rushed forward with weapons and control staffs, but they stopped when the prime apex rose again. This time standing beside Lyra. Not as a slave. As a guardian. Kale ran to her side. "You did it," he breathed. "You chose love and it changed everything." Lyra turned to him, eyes glowing with tears and light. "Power forced obedience," she said. "Love creates loyalty." The beasts across the arena, apex and lesser alike, began to kneel. Not to the council. To her. The soldiers dropped their weapons. The council fled. Days later, the arena stood empty of chains and cruelty. Beasts roamed freely. Humans trained beside them, not above them. The world began to change slowly but forever. Lyra stood at the highest balcony, wind lifting her hair. Her beast rested behind her, the prime apex nearby, calm and watchful. Kale joined her, hesitant. "What happens now?" he asked. Lyra smiled, soft and warm. "Now we build something better." He reached for her hand, and this time she didn't pull away. Their fingers intertwined, nervous but certain. "I don't want to rule," she said. "I want to walk beside someone who understands." Kale met her eyes. "Then walk with me." Her beast gave a low, approving sound. That night, under a sky full of stars, Lyra laughed. The same fearless laugh that had echoed through the arena on her first day. She whistled softly, and her beast came to her side, pressing close. They had unleashed their apex beast. But they never expected the human to laugh and call hers with love.